Tom Clark's 6M podcast is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show. Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's 6M podcast. I'm your host, Tom Clark, and in this episode I'm joined by co-host Troy Grant. From the world of National Lampoon comes one of the most classic holiday films of all time, featuring an ensemble cast of comedic actors and a story of one man's mission to celebrate the biggest day of the year with his loving family while his world comes crashing down around him in one hilarious moment after another. We're talking about Christmas Vacation. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation was released by Warner Bros. On December 1st, 1989, and was directed by Jeremiah Chechik and produced by John Hughes. It is the third installment in the Vacation series, which began in 1983. The film is based on a short story written by Hughes entitled Christmas 59, which was published in the December 1980 issue of National Lampoon magazine. Christmas Vacation continues the story of the Griswolds, a family that regularly faces many comedy scenarios thanks to its straight-laced patriarch, Clark. Clark is always focused on spending time with his family, yet often traps them in a bizarre predicament that they must endure together. Clark is determined to have a great Christmas with his entire family in the film, including his parents and his in-laws. But things begin to go south when Clark's freeloading cousin Eddie crashes the holiday with his family. It's up to Clark to keep the Christmas spirit alive for a house full of people while trying to maintain his sanity at the same time. Clark's Christmas bonus is an ongoing narrative throughout the film. Clark is planning to use the money to build a family swimming pool, and his intention is to surprise the entire family with the news on Christmas. But when Clark's boss doesn't deliver, the holiday takes a turn for the worse. The family must find a way to celebrate Christmas, though they don't know that a major shock is coming their way thanks to Eddie, who is followed by a fully armed police SWAT team. Christmas Vacation debuted in the number 2 spot behind Back to the Future 2 and earned just under $12 million at the box office for its opening weekend. The movie hit number 1 by its third week and hit a total gross of over $71 million, making it the most successful film in the Vacation franchise at that time. The movie was met with mixed to positive reviews upon its release. However, many critics soon began to praise it as a Christmas classic. Fans of the film include it on their yearly list of must-watch holiday films, and thanks to its hilarious characters, comedy gags, and funny one-liners, the movie remains a Christmas favorite. And that's the lowdown on Christmas Vacation. So Christmas is my absolute favorite time of the year. Yes, I am one of those people. It frustrates people around me because, let's face it, they're Grinches and they suck. My tree goes up every November 1st because I'm hardcore. I don't care what anybody thinks. It makes no difference to me. I like to celebrate the Yuletide season as much as I possibly can. I'm not disgusting, Troy, with it. In terms of wearing ugly Christmas sweaters. I've considered it, but that seems a little too white guy kind of thing to do. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I'm not that far, man. How do you feel about Christmas? Is this your time of year? Are you indifferent to it? Are you okay with it? Where do you come down at?
I don't know. I went through a phase where, when I was younger, obviously I absolutely loved Christmas. And then I got to an age where I just didn't really care about it. But it's only since I've got into my 30s, and now it feels like a bigger deal again. And I don't have children or anything, but because I have a younger sister and a younger brother, I kind of feel I put more emphasis on it as the older sibling. And so, yeah, like I look forward to putting the stuff up. And I've never been one for Christmas jumpers, but I always manage to find some sort of comedy Christmas jumper. So that's my way of getting into the spirit of the whole jumper thing.
Right. I was like you. I took spells of it. The line of work I do and what I call my civilian job is working with the public.
Okay.
So Christmas is not exactly fun times for me on the job.
Hmm.
So I basically hated it every year. I dreaded it. But then my kid was born and I said, you know what? I'm not going to be like that anymore. I don't want to be that guy. And dude, I was called the Grinch. Everybody knew me as like, God, dude, I hate being around Tom this time of year. He's a jerk. And I couldn't help it, man. Well, I could help it. It turns out I could help it. But I chose not to, right? But when my kid was born, dude, it changed everything for me. And I was like, you know what? I don't want him to grow up seeing that dad. I want him to grow up seeing a dad with a Santa hat on and
Yeah,
putting the tree up early and trying to celebrate it, always watching Christmas movies.
that's it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what he's growing up seeing. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
I know,
So
I think that whole phase where I was like, I don't really care much for Christmas was when I was working like with the general public and was always working around the time of the year when the shops were just manic, crazy, crazy busy. And so I think that's what put me off so much, like just like, oh, it's Christmas again. And I've got to deal with the general public upon like en masse for a couple of weeks. And I think that's what just threw me off it. But now I don't have to do that. I think I appreciate it a bit more.
yeah, that'll do it every time. And just the old tagline of Christmas is too commercial. I kind of feel like they've been saying that since the first Christmas. I don't know because I've heard it my whole life. I mean, my kid will probably hear it his whole life. I'm just thinking, was there a time when Christmas wasn't commercial at this point? I don't even know. So, Tom Clark 6M podcast is sponsored in part by Radius Law Group. Every day, Radius helps individuals, families, small businesses, and nonprofit organizations throughout North Carolina, Florida, and Pennsylvania resolve their legal issues by providing effective legal counsel in the areas of estate planning, as well as elder law and Medicaid. Radius Law holds the radical belief that working with a lawyer can indeed be enjoyable. So give them a call at 1-800-519-5667 for more information and tell them that Tom Clark 6M Podcast sent you. This is one of my favorites, and yes, kids, it's movie time. You read the episode description, you know what we're here for. So we are going to do a live to tape anyway, recording of an alternate commentary for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is one of my favorites, dude. And as I told you before we started recording today, I haven't watched this one yet this year, and I did it intentionally because I knew we were going to cover this film. I'm looking forward to this, man. Where does this rank for you in terms of your all-time favorites?
Oh, it's in the top five easily,
Yeah.
easily of Christmas films. Maybe it'll push the top three. Like it's a close one. I grew up watching this. My mum was always a massive fan of the National Lampoons, like generally like that kind of series of films. But then like the Vacation series were just so good. And it was just tradition to watch the Christmas one every year. And then anytime we had a holiday throughout the summer, we'd then always watch Vacation, and that would be like the go-to film for that. So yeah, it holds a lot of fun memories. And it's always on the list to watch at Christmas.
Yeah, same here. It's one of those must-watch movies that I have to go to every year,
Yeah.
and I can put it on anytime. It's a little irreverent, but not too irreverent. You can't have kids in the room, and
It's on the
it
cusp. It's on the cusp.
yes, it's on. Yeah, you're right. It's right there on the verge. Um, and I'm a big softy when it comes to holiday favorites. Like, some of these movies, if they're done right, I mean, It's a
Mhm.
Wonderful Life. Me and my wife watch that every Christmas day. It
Yeah.
gets me every year. I love Jimmy Stewart. That's a whole other podcast, right? But
Yeah.
this one has the only time you're going to cry in this movie is if you're crying from laughing, because
Oh yeah.
so it's very much just very very on the nose and just all slapstick humor. So, all right, kids, if you're ready, we're going to get this sucker rolling.
Yeah, man.
So, all right, folks. So we don't know how you're watching the film. Whether you're watching on digital download, whether you're watching, could be watching old VHS tape for all I know, whether you're watching DVD, whatever you got. I assume everybody's film begins with the Warner Brothers logo. Okay. And before you have the Warner Brothers logo, you have that shot. It's like a ripple effect of the studio buildings right there.
That's
It's
it.
like a,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I would hope every version has that, because if it doesn't have it, kids, you're going to try to play catch up with us. So if you, I'm on digital download right now. And all I did was click on the tile to watch it. I paused it immediately when the screen is black. So right now I've got a black screen. The counter's at 0. And when I say 3, 2, 1, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1 and then press play. So for everybody, if you want to follow along and enjoy the commentary, you're more than welcome to do that. Again, that's why you're here. We're going to say 3, 2, 1, and I'll say press play. You hit play, and then there you go. Don't expect to hear any audio here, everybody, because, we don't want the episode taken down because of the
Copyright.
copyright police. I'm sure we'll be on the prowl. We don't want to lose the show. I can respect that. I'm a creator. I don't want my stuff ripped off either, so I totally get it. So, all right, here we go, folks. Everybody prepare yourselves. We'll try to give you markers as we go through the movie. That way, if you get lost, you can catch up. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1, press play. And there's the studio buildings like we talked about. The big powerhouse Warner Brothers. So,
The
right off
sleigh
the
bells.
bat, yes, right off the bat, let me start off. I hate this song. I can't help it. It's nothing about the vocal. I am
Yeah.
not a fan of that 80s horns. And dude, I'm an 80s kid. So I grew up hearing crap like this all the time.
That's the only downside to 80s films is that generic 80s horn synth like
Yes.
soundtrack thing, like a universal thing.
Yes. And it's not like jazz. It's not jazz and it's not Muzak. It's just
Muzak.
It's like Kenny G, Michael Bolton, kind of
Kenny
thing.
G, like
Yeah.
sexual assault.
Yes. I do like the animation. I always enjoyed the animated opening. It's pretty good. I'm not sure.
I do like the music from the vacation movie, like the summer vacation one. That one always sticks in my head.
And the main theme to Vacation.
Yeah.
Done by Kenny Loggins. I know I remember that.
Yeah.
Kenny Loggins was the 80s soundtrack guy, dude. He did Footloose.
The go-to guy, Footloose, Top Gun.
Yes.
He redid for the new Top Gun. He re-recorded Danger Zone specifically for the new Top Gun.
Awesome. When is that thing dropping, by the way?
It was meant to be this year, I think. But with everything that was this year has now been cancelled or pushed back. I think it's early next year. But I'm certain it was meant to be 2020 in its initial release.
Yeah, honestly, man, to me, it's another conversation, but Top Gun is I still submit that Top Gun's a chick flick. I'm sorry. When I was a younger kid, I watched it, but I was like, oh, it's the greatest movie ever. It just felt like a romance to me. And, I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing it through different eyes.
To agree.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you got to hand it to Tom Cruise, though, man. He's still going. I mean, he's wackadoodle, but he's still going. So, produced by John Hughes, the great and mighty John Hughes of the 1980s, man. This dude was behind so many hits. It was insane. Home Alone movies, right? And 16 Candles, yeah. Uncle Buck. I think Uncle Buck was John Hughes.
Uncle Buck,
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, what film?
I watched that one the other night. That's another go-to Christmas movie, too.
Yeah. Is it Christmas? It's Thanksgiving.
It's Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's trying to make a home in Thanksgiving, but he misses Thanksgiving. By the time he gets there, they've got the house decorated for Christmas. So it's kind of in between, I guess.
Yeah.
There we see them, folks, the infamous Griswold family. Chevy Chase. Now, you look up annoying white dad, and you're going to see Chevy Chase. But he plays it perfect, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Plays it perfect. Johnny Galecki is Russ, right? So all you Big Bang Theory fans out there, you know that's Leonard. That's pretty cool. Juliette Lewis is Audrey. Beverly D'Angelo. Let me tell you something about Beverly D'Angelo. Beverly D'Angelo is the perfect person for this role because she is like part mom, but she's part kind of hot at the same time. So I think she's perfect in this, man. I love her. We seem to have maybe lost Troy on the audio here, folks.
I think I'm back. I can hear you now.
Are you back? All right, cool. There you go.
Yeah, it went a bit squiffy for a moment.
Very weird.
I got the whole roboto voice.
Hey, just to let you guys know, anybody that's listening to this show right now, man, Troy's across the pond from where I'm at. So he's in the UK and I'm in the US. So these things are bound to happen occasionally. So just bear with us. There we see Chevy flipping off the truck full of rednecks. I can appreciate that. I live in the South, so I have no problem with that at all. This is kind of stuff that would only happen in a movie.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where suddenly he would have, I'm gonna show him. I'm gonna catch up to him in this broke down station wagon,
Yeah.
and that's the station wagon from the first Vacation movie.
Oh, is it the blue suit, the super sports wagon or whatever it is?
I think so. Am I wrong? Wait, let me look at it. Maybe I'm wrong,
Oh,
dude.
no, it's not. That's a Ford.
That is a Ford. Well done. Did that car get destroyed in the first Vacation film? I can't remember.
It limped across the finish line, didn't it, when they got to Wally World? I think it
That's
just made
right.
it.
That's right. It's so funny. I've seen this Vacation movie like 100 to 1 over the first Vacation movie. I just have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the most inexplicable moment in driving history.
I'm sure they
There he
did a
goes.
similar stunt in the Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah, it's really.
Clark got
He
there
just
first.
veers up. It's like he doesn't see in front of him.
It's for the realization on his face when he
Yeah.
realizes he's under it and behind the wheel.
It's that moment in comedies that gets me. That double take moment that,
Priceless.
yeah. It's like that hesitation in comedies that's completely unbelievable, but it's hilarious at the same time. Oh, and he's out. But there's the snowplow, I guess. Dukes of Hazzard jumped there.
Yep. See, there's one of those in the first Vacation as well.
I forgot about that.
I think it's when they're in like Arizona or something, and he crashes it into the desert.
That is a good film, dude. I need to go back and watch that one.
Oh, definitely.
Did you see the new Vacation, like the
I
2015
did,
version?
yeah. I
How was
didn't
it?
think it was too bad actually. It was all right, and there was a lot of like kind of callbacks to these ones. Yeah, it was funny, and I forget the guy's name that play because it's Rusty. It's him taking his family away.
It's Ed Helms and Christina Applegate, isn't it?
Yeah. It is funny. It is funny. It's not a touch on these. Like these are absolute classics, but in its own right, it's a decent film.
Oh yeah. There it is, everybody. The
There it
tree with
is.
the lights on it. The one he forces into the house. It's got wildlife living in it.
It's
You
gonna
don't know that
say
at
it's
the time.
like half a rainforest in there.
And then somehow, I'm jumping ahead, but somehow they managed to get the car to the tree and with a chain pull it down, I guess. I don't think they don't show it, I don't think.
Yeah, through the snow.
Yeah, like I don't know how they did that.
I wonder if it's in like the special features they show how exactly they got it onto there.
It makes you wonder, especially for moments like this, how much of this stuff was left on the cutting room floor. They just
No, they
took it
don't. No.
out. I mean,
Dad,
you have
did
to
you bring a
assume
saw?
they didn't have a saw, but somehow they had a logging chain, I guess. I don't know. Like, how did not tear their bumper off?
I'm surprised there's
Hey, look,
anything left of the car once they get back.
I know, right? Listen, as pro wrestling fans, we have to have suspension of disbelief, so I'm
Of
just going to
course.
go with that. I'll just go with that.
Oh, they're neighbors.
Oh, they're great. So uppity, right?
Oh, those glasses. They're
I know,
so
right?
80s. So 80s.
Big
Like
time.
every 80s villain wore those.
Yeah, good call. And there he is in the ski mask. It's great.
Bend over and I'll show you.
I love that.
Wasn't
Oh,
talking to
yeah.
you.
Were you a Seinfeld fan?
I never watched it, to be honest, no.
No, honestly, I never got into it. I mean, this was long before Seinfeld, of course. It's
Mm.
probably one of the first things that she did. Get ready for the destruction in the living room.
Oh no. Lot of sap.
And they never addressed the broken windows ever.
No.
They again, it's comedy. They just oh well, sap all over the place.
Oh my life.
All right, so they're she's talking about her parents coming.
Hmm.
Are you a big fill up the house Christmas guy, or you just prefer like small immediate family kind of thing?
Small immediate families, like between me and my girlfriend, we'll usually go to her parents for dinner on like the Boxing Day, and then on Christmas Day I'll have my mum, sister, and brother over here, and we'll do something. But yeah, like big Christmas gatherings are just it's chaos. Like my ex girlfriend is German American, and so we used to go to her mum's in Berlin, but they celebrate like Thanksgiving and this, that, and the other, and it would be for everyone, and there'd be a house of like 15, 20 people,
Oh.
and having to cook and prepare and just everything for that amount of people is absolute chaos.
I've been there. We've had the entire get together at my house before, and then I've been to in laws for the entire get together,
Mm.
and it's a house full of people, and I'm totally okay with it. But I would
Don't
say if you
mind that amount
quiz,
of people about. It's more just the preparing everything for them and just
yes, and
making
the
sure everything's
cleanup,
done on time and the clear up. Yeah.
yeah, the cleanup wasn't bad. I think if you quiz most people, they'd say, "Hey, one get together is great, but the rest of the season, let's just do it at home," that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
we get to follow Clark to the job. Do they make so? All right. So if I'm remembering this right, he works in toys, right? Isn't that part of the job here? Isn't that what he does?
uh,
Because I can't remember what his job
I
is, to
don't know
be
what it is
honest.
actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it's food, isn't it? It's like nutrition and food and
That's
dietary
right.
stuff.
That's right. I was just thinking about the sled, and it was making me think of um, that he was in toys.
Huh.
Now, all right, folks, there's the plan for the pool, which is a major plot point in this film.
It's Bill Murray's brother.
Yes, it is Brian Doyle Murray, the great Brian Doyle Murray.
Hmm.
Can't say all three of his names without screwing him up because it's hard, but he's great. Brian Doyle Murray.
Isn't Bill Murray's other brother in the first Vacation? You know when they go camping, and he's the guy that runs the campsite.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Brian Doyle Murray's great. That voice, no one sounds like him, you know?
It's perfect, isn't it?
And of course, he was the studio executive in Wayne's World as well.
Oh,
So,
really?
oh yeah, dude, it's
Oh,
so
awesome.
good. Basically the same character, the uptight, rigid boss, that kind of thing. It's great. And of course, he didn't know Clark's name, obviously.
Yeah.
I never been to New York, man. Wait, there's Chicago. I've never been to Chicago either. So,
I've been to New York. I spent a day in
yeah,
New York.
I need to go sometime, man. I need to go.
It
Let's
was
go.
cool. It's just manic. Like it's crazy what you'd expect from New York. I went in the summer and there was like a heat wave there.
Oh yeah.
The hottest it had been in like 50, 60 years or something
Oh
daft.
wow.
And it was just crazy, crazy hot. And obviously with it being New York, high rise buildings and stuff, the heat just doesn't escape. So it was like a
Right.
furnace. So warm.
I have to say, as a red-blooded man, this is one of my favorite scenes of the film. I'm totally not gonna lie about it.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Can't help it, man. Especially when you're as a young man watching this movie, you're like, "When's he gonna get to that part? She's great." Nipply. I'm not sure if I know who this is. If I'm guessing, was this a playmate? Was she a model? Was she really an actress? Like I'm not even sure who she is.
I feel like she would have been one of those like women at the time that was like a Playboy model or something like that, and they've just put her in specifically for that, like like a quick cameo even.
Right.
And people of the time maybe knew who she was. I don't know. I could be wrong. I feel like that might be because they had a similar kind of plant in the other vacation films, don't they? Where he's driving in the car and there's the girl in the Ferrari.
Yeah. And the girl in the Ferrari is Cheryl Tiegs in the first Lampoon movie, isn't it? First vacation film?
Believe so.
Nicolette Scorsese
Is that who
is married a lot.
this girl is?
Yeah. Yeah. That last name can't be accident.
I was gonna say that's not a common surname, is it?
No, I would think not. Nicolette Scorsese. Uh, that's what she's most known for. She was also in Boxing Helena and NYPD Blue. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's good part too. I'm just saying. I hate to be that guy, but I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, yeah. Can't see the line, Ross. Nope.
Yeah, there's my flick, dude. I love that freaking movie. I can't help myself. It's a great film.
Oh, we've all got like I say it's a guilty pleasure. Like it's not necessarily a guilty pleasure, but we've always got those go to movies, whether it's like a seasonal one or what, like a feel good one or something that's
Yeah.
just traditional. Like I have it.
Yeah, and It's a Wonderful Life just has the best message and the best story, and
Mm.
I've seen that movie a lot, and I don't know, man, it gets to me every year. There we hear the sound of doom behind the door.
Dun, dun.
All right, so we've got John Randolph as Clark's father, Clark
Uh,
Griswold Sr., Diane Ladd as Clark's mom, E.G. Marshall as Ellen's dad, Doris Roberts as Ellen's mother, of course, from Everybody Loves Raymond.
oh yeah.
Yep. Miriam Flynn as Catherine, who is Ellen's cousin. We're going to see Catherine in a bit because Catherine and Eddie show up and ruin the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh, Catherine and
So,
Eddie, bless
yes,
them.
I got to say, man, Randolph as Clark's dad is great. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you can kind of see where Clark gets his sentimentality from
Mhm.
and, just real soft hearted.
Yeah,
portrayal by that guy. You know, I thought it was
yeah,
perfect for that.
definitely. Oh, the lights.
Lights. So we'll get there when it happens, right? But dude, supposedly there's a house in Rhode Island that has done shot for shot the Griswold house.
Really?
Yes. And
No way.
yeah, I'm assuming the house is similar in style, I guess,
Yeah, yeah.
like how it's built and everything, and they just recreated the entire thing. If they did
Amazing.
it right, if they did it right, according to what I've read online, there's 25,000 lights on the Griswold house.
Jeez.
I know, right?
That's insane. I have a nightmare putting like the 80, 100 around my Christmas tree.
Yeah, I've got two strands of lights on my tree. One is clear white and the other is colored.
Yeah.
And that's plenty. Like I don't need to light it up anymore. And I've got very few things outside. I'm not so crazy with it.
Mm. We put some up outside this year, just like around the guttering, just on like kind of the front porch, and then they go
Right.
down the back at the side of the yard. But not too many, but just subtle enough. But there's like where my mum lives in Birmingham. Um, the people there go crazy, but to the point where it's like it's tacky. Like
Right.
it doesn't look classy. Like it's just we've just ram raided like a I don't know Target store like over in the States and just bought every bowl possible. And we've not gone for style. We've not tried to to lay it out in any way at all. We've just kind of dropped lights on the house and that's it. It looks terrible.
Right. It's like a clown threw up everywhere or something. You're
That's
like,
it.
God,
Yeah.
what happened here? It occurs to me we never mentioned the neighbors. It's Nicholas Guest and of course Julia Louis Dreyfus. It's
Mhm.
Todd and Margot. Just saying it sounds rich, you know.
Margot.
Todd and Margot. Now, okay, so seeing the ladder here, I will be blunt with you. I am a homeowner. I am not a handy homeowner. Okay. If something needs to be done, Tom picks up the phone. I'm not, honey, I'll grab the ladder. That's not me, buddy. I don't have the good sense to fix anything. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just being honest with you. So I don't even own a ladder. All right. So there's one problem right there.
We only own a ladder so we can get up in the attic, like in the loft. That's it.
Yeah. There
It's
you
not
go.
really DIY or handiwork, I tell you.
Oh, I'm terrible, man. Like you put me behind a laptop and talk to me about podcast or streaming something or creating something or a website or whatever or Photoshop, I'm your guy. But
Yeah, yeah.
if it means getting up, nah, forget. I'm not
No,
getting up. That's
no,
crazy.
I'm the same. Like I've got a little bit of basic kind of DIY stuff, but I'm more artistic and I'm more technical. Like you say, put me in front of a computer or something like that, I'm absolutely fine.
Right.
But tell me to like, oh, you've got to put like a nail or a screw through this particular part of the wall because it lies like this and this measures that. No, no
Yeah.
chance.
Same here. Yeah. Same here.
No.
Full disclosure, kids, as I was telling Troy before we went live today, I live at the end of the cul-de-sac. So if you hear any rumblings of a lawnmower behind me, it's because people suck. Uh, People don't really suck.
Inconsiderate.
I mean, they do suck, but maybe this guy doesn't. Maybe he's just trying to do his yard. And who am I to stop him? Right. I mean, you have to assume Clark started when the sun was up on this.
Yeah,
So you assume he's been out there the entire day.
yeah.
Like,
I think he's probably had his lunch up there. He's not come in for it.
I, I don't know that that's occurred to me until right now that there was nothing in between when we saw him first with the ladder to this. Like,
It's just relentless,
yeah.
non-stop.
And there he goes off hanging on by the gutter. Here's a marker for you, kids. He's hanging on to the gutter right now, and he's smiling because he hasn't killed himself. So if you're right there at that point, you're right there with us on the film. Oh, there it goes.
Like a javelin.
The sound effect of that thing going through the window was priceless. It's like it's being launched.
Oh, I'd have loved to have been the Foley guy, like creating the noise for that.
The best part is when they come home and they're like, "What the hell? Like,
Like,
what's
why is
happening?"
everything so wet?
Yeah, yeah. That's great stuff. Uh, CDs. I gotta admit to you, I got a massive CD collection that I never
Oh,
listen to
same,
because I
dude.
stream
Like,
everything now.
yeah, like vinyl's coming like again the last few years. Like people big into vinyl, and
I
the
love
amount of
vinyl.
shops and record shops that are popping back up now. Like all these like classic kind of like music mediums. Like I've seen a lot of people like releasing their music on cassettes.
Ah,
Yeah, like having a bit of a revival.
yeah. I'm a vinyl guy. I love vinyl. I started
Yeah.
out with vinyl. That's
Okay.
how old I am. I started out with a vinyl and then went to cassettes and then went to CDs. So I've run the gamut. I've come all the way back around again.
I had a mini disc player. Mini disc players were awesome. They were just short lived.
It's a what now?
A mini disc player.
I know mini discs from like computers, but I don't know it from like here's the latest album kind of thing.
Ah, yeah, they were like tiny CDs in like a
Yeah.
hard plastic case. I think Sony invented them. I could be wrong. I think
You
Sony
know
did.
what? You might be right. It's starting to sound familiar. That does sound familiar now that you mention it.
Yeah, they
You're
were
right.
cool.
It
They were
didn't last
really
long. Yeah. And of course, we think we're going to get the big reveal here,
good.
and Ellen's dad's not having it. He don't want to be out there. You can tell he don't want to be out there. Everyone's
Back
freezing.
in front of the fire with his
Yeah.
eggnog.
Yes. And then he plugs in, and nothing.
It's the crash of the cymbals.
Yeah, that's great. It's like the comedy sound effect of someone falling down, you
Yeah, yeah.
know? And Ellen's parents just crap on him through the whole
Yeah.
film.
Like, talk about like throwing your money away and waste of time. Like
She said
even
he worked.
even his daughter that
Yeah.
usually just doesn't care is like, well, no, you worked really hard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He worked really hard. He says so does what does he say does washing machines. It's great. There's that dad. Look how happy he is. I love that guy. Man, if that was your grandfather, you're a happy dude. Look at that dude.
Yeah,
He's very happy.
nothing phases him.
No. He says, "Give me a holler. I'll be upstairs asleep." Because Clark's mom seems pretty normal, but he's got to get the wackiness from
It's
somebody.
got to come somewhere. Yeah.
And so they recast um, Russ and what's the daughter? I just forgot her
Audrey.
name. Yeah, they they were different in every film, weren't they?
Yeah, they've never been consistent.
Yeah.
Like they're always different. The only two people, no, the only four people that have been the same. Clark, uh, obviously his
Clark
wife,
and Ellen.
Clark
Yeah.
and Ellen, Eddie,
Yep.
uh, and forget Eddie's wife's name. What is it?
Um,
We said it a moment ago. I completely
we
forgot.
did.
Yeah, they're the only
Miriam
four.
as Catherine Johnson. Catherine.
Catherine, that's it. Yeah, but everyone else they shuffle about.
Yeah. They even changed Eddie's kids, didn't they?
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
I feel like I recognize the kid that plays Rusty, but I recognize him as an adult.
Yeah, that's Johnny Galecki from Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
Yeah.
of course
Hey,
it
don't feel bad. It took me a long time to get that figured out. Like,
is.
and I don't think I even looked it up. My wife or someone said, "You know who that is, right?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "That's Johnny Galecki." I'm like, "Shut up." I was like, "Yeah, that's him." Yeah, I didn't know that for the longest time, man.
Yeah, man.
See, I wasn't a Roseanne fan,
No, nor was I.
and then seeing what she turned into, I'm glad I was never a Roseanne fan. So,
Yeah, yeah.
just saying,
She
yeah. Um, yeah, I never watched the show. I didn't care about it. Like I knew of him on that show, but I
mm,
became a fan when Big Bang came out. That's when I
yeah,
became
yeah.
a fan. So
I watched Cheers quite a bit, and my friends
love Cheers.
run a Cheers podcast, which is awesome, and they
Nice.
do like series after series after series, like breaking down each episode.
Right.
They've had like a couple of people that were on the show, like guest on there. That was one
Very
thing
cool.
around that time that I kind of watched, not religiously, but more often, if you like.
I like Cheers. I can't say I was a mega fan, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We just got the stun of Clark getting hit in the face with the ladder. So for all of you SNL fans out there, especially if you're older SNL fans, you know that Chevy had all kinds of physical problems from all the pratfalls he took on the show.
Really?
So, oh yeah, dude, back problems and the such because he was the first one to say, "Oh, I'll do it." Like physical comedy, he didn't care. Like he fell down all the time on the show. It was
Oh
hilarious,
wow.
but you can only do that so often until it starts messing with you.
And as fans of professional wrestling,
Yes. Yes, Chevy was taking bumps all over the place. I mean, not for nothing. If first of all, you got to hope that at some point on a show like that, they would either have a stunt guy or, if nothing else, a pro wrestler to say, "Hey, let me show you how
yeah,
you can do
yeah.
this without killing yourself," and that kind of thing. So,
I remember
and then
watching. There's a documentary on Netflix about like classic films and how they made them. I don't remember what it's called, but one of them is Home Alone, and the whole thing, like with all the stunts of them getting like smashed about and falling
right.
over and stuff like that. And they had like stunt guys in, like showing them how to literally just throw themselves up in the air and just land as safely as possible, but still make it look agonizingly painful.
I just watched that for maybe the second, third time this Christmas season the other night, and yeah, the physical comedy in that movie is the best part.
It's
It's
so good.
oh man, great stuff.
The bit that gets me in that film every time is when the tarantula lands on his face.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I've still to this day never heard a scream like it.
yeah.
Speaking of
Daniel
physical
Stern.
comedy, here we go.
Daniel Stern's the greatest, man. He's awesome. Yeah, and here we go, Chevy on the boards. It's like the cartoon character stepping on the rake with Daffy Duck, and the bill gets flipped up. Yeah,
It's like watching Wile E. Coyote.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. Yeah, the whole thing. And they don't see him.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And then of course he's trapped in the attic.
He just can't catch a break, this guy.
No. And the best thing is he played this part because it was said by John Hughes too that the vacation movies were nothing but a vehicle to get Chevy Chase over, just for him to show off and stuff. Which
Really?
I'm okay with that. But because the Clark Griswold character is very much Chevy, he's straight laced, straight face. His comedy is
Yeah.
very dry.
Yeah.
A lot of pratfalls, a lot of physical stuff. But the only time he cracks a smile or laughs is when he's losing his mind. You know, so yeah, it's very much him. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole thing's written for him.
Mm.
Oh, that's good. Doesn't occur to him not to stay on the drywall. That's probably not a good idea.
Just with the hands, and he realizes warmth that's come out of the hole that he's.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's great. And, the character is a good character. He's memorable
Yeah.
because his heart really is in the right place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He generally just wants to enjoy his family, give him a good old fashioned Christmas. The whole thing goes south, but, you know, things tend to go south with this guy. Reminiscing over the reel to reel. I am old enough to remember reel to reel. Okay. Truth. When I was like a little kid, I'm talking 3 and 4, my dad had like a reel to reel
Nice.
movie thing. And I can't remember what he had. But the time it was, of course, completely normal. That now, if you see something like that, you're like, where'd that come from? It's funny how things change. I would guess, and I don't know this for sure, but I would say some of this is staged because you can tell the actors are younged up
Yeah,
to look younger. But I wonder how much of this is actual real footage mixed in as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got Ray Charles in the background. You can't beat that. Of course, they're all home.
I laugh because I know what's coming.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the bit of in the music. Listen to the laugh in the music as it happens.
I did honestly. I never matched that up before.
It's the timing's perfect.
Oh, okay. I got yeah. I never realized that.
It's little things like that that I remember from this, and every time I watch it, and it reminds me, and like, yes.
And this is very early 90s yuppie kind of thing. They had those like sweatsuits on, you know.
Tinfoil sweatsuit.
Yeah, yeah. Bottled water before bottled water was really a thing, you know. You felt like only rich young business people had that stuff. Because, dude, I remember when bottled water became a thing, and I was like, "You're telling me I got to pay for a bottle of water? Are you high? What are you kidding?" Like again, now I wouldn't hesitate to buy it, but like at
Yeah.
the time, it's like, "You're going to charge me for this? You kidding?"
Nope.
It's round two of the lights, kids. We'll see if he can do it this time. Still nothing. There was Santa in the sleigh. That'll come into play later.
More on that later.
Yeah, yeah. I've got an ornament on my tree that came from the Hallmark store, and it's of Clark's house, and you press a button and it lights up.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it's also got sound bites of him talking about they're in the
Oh,
seventh. Was it the seventh layer of hell or something?
yeah, yeah.
We're on the threshold of hell. That's what it is. Look at all the plugs, and this isn't even the best power strip. You'll see that one in the garage.
Gosh, yeah.
Oh, this is great. That one. That one. Look at that.
It's like a technician's worst nightmare.
Yeah. And there goes the rest of the city. Got to turn on the nuclear power.
It's like a state, like a football stadium floodlight.
I know, right? Oh. Clark finally gets to see it here, I think, because she flips it on this time.
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, and again, the comedy thing, he threw the tray before he fell down the steps. Like he didn't drop the tray when he fell, he threw it first.
Through it.
Great. That's a typical man move. If it doesn't work, just freaking throw it down and yell at it.
Throw it around, yell at it, like just
And then kick stuff. I'm gonna kick Santa out of the sleigh.
punch Santa and then drop kick it.
Yeah. I'd forgotten he did the karate chop the reindeer. I forgot that.
I forgot about that.
And then it hits her. Wait a minute. I think I know what it is.
Hold up.
I think the message here, kids, is that if you'll just smash stuff, just break it, then your dream will come true. See what I'm saying? Because like, had he not drop kicked the reindeer, you know, it's great. Now they're all happy. Even Ellen's mom and dad are overjoyed. This is great.
They are not happy.
No. Of course, Ellen's getting smushed between them. No one addresses that. Clark's dad. Again, he's great. I love this guy. Okay, maybe Ellen's parents are not as impressed.
Looks thoroughly unimpressed.
Oh, lights are not twinkling. Jerk.
Thanks for noticing.
And there's the hat.
Eddie?
Again, comedy. He looked at him, talked to him, and then went, Eddie?
Then realised.
It's great.
He's so caught up in the moment.
Yeah, yeah. It's like that reaction when you get a, wait, what? It's like, you have to pinch yourself to see if you're dreaming or not. And there's the poor, unfortunate kids.
Oh, that poor kid's got a haircut and a half.
I'm telling you, man. Lip fungus that hasn't been identified yet.
Like him and his family have always got some sort of ailment, haven't they? Like, hasn't he got like metal plates in his head for some reason?
Yes, and yes, and
Like
they
they
live.
addressed that in one of the other films, like, something happened and I've got a metal plate in my head and it makes me do this and this and that.
Yeah, yeah. I think he addresses it in this film. And there's the infamous dog, of course.
Snots.
Yeah. And then in the vacation film, they lived at the former nuclear testing site,
That's it.
and he threw a steak on the rock and it just started sizzling. Like, forget the fact we're all in danger.
The dynamic between those two, like Eddie's got like no shame at all, and
None.
Catherine Moore almost like knows that, but feels embarrassed to be there. She's like, "Oh, we're sort of here," and Eddie just doesn't care. He's just blasé.
But she's so into him too. You can totally see that she loves him. Like she's willing to overlook stuff because she loves him. There's Ellen's dad inviting them to stay in the house with him. The rubber sheets and the gerbils. I'm not even going to touch that.
Jeez.
I'm not touching that, man. That's,
No
holy
chance.
God. So I've done deep dives, like movie commentaries on the show before here, and sometimes until you really get specific with dialogue, it doesn't hit you.
Hmm.
So that's one of those lines that I never really thought about before. But
Never
holy
picked
God,
up. Yeah.
it just wouldn't be the same movie without Eddie and Catherine. It wouldn't be the
No.
same film. There's that god awful tree,
What is he wearing?
and it's the phony turtleneck that you can clearly see through the sweater. See, it's such a nice touch, man.
I've never noticed that before. I've
Yeah.
never ever noticed that. Oh, it's not even a real turtleneck. It's like a
Yeah.
bib with a really
Yeah, yeah,
high.
yeah, yeah. And speaking of, Big Bang, I think that's what Harold wore, uh, um is it Harold Wolowitz? Why does that not sound right? Harold doesn't sound right. Maybe it is, Harold Wolowitz. Uh, he always wore that in the show, and I think at one point he pointed out it wasn't actually a turtleneck. So, you just guess that the people that costumed this movie had this planned, but
Yeah.
part of me would like to think that one of these guys at some point said, "Dude, this sweater should be totally see-through so you can see that."
Find the thinnest sweater you can to make
Yeah,
sure that everyone knows it's not a real turtleneck.
right. And very tight fitting,
Yeah. Like uncomfortably tight.
and
Not
we had to
uncomfortable
put
to wear, but uncomfortable to look at him wearing it.
and the green pants. That's
Oh
just
man, it's the shoes as well.
he looks
Like
like a 1980s golfer, doesn't he?
fresh off the PGA tour.
Yes. We have to address the Wally World cups they were drinking the eggnog out of.
Do you know that's another thing I never picked up on?
Yeah. I'm fairly certain they never mentioned the park in the film, but that they make a few little subtle nods to it along the
Mhm.
way. The cool thing is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think you can watch the vacation movies out of sequence and they would still fit. Like it wouldn't matter how you
Yeah,
watch it.
there's no like chronological order. Um, no, I don't think there is.
It's kind of like when you watch Charlie Brown Halloween special, and
Oh yeah.
it's funny because it occurs to you at one point Lucy makes the comment. I think it's Lucy or maybe Sally makes the comment that she didn't get Halloween candy again, and you're like, "Wait, does she do this every year?"
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
and of course, Eddie just told Clark, "I missed it there." That he pretty much they're going to stay and stay and stay and stay. This is great. That massive table.
He's like he's about a mile away and he's like
Yeah,
squinting to hear him.
greaseball. He called him greaseball. It's great.
Clark W. Greaseball.
Yes.
They've all got him the same gift.
I never noticed that till now.
I
What is the gift? What
don't
would
know.
that
I'm
shape
trying to
be?
work out like what would be a universal, like the same size, same shape.
I don't know, like a pipe maybe? I don't know what that could be. Yeah, his Scroogeness comes back to haunt him by the end. So,
Oh yes.
that's what it was, kitchen lubricant. Like, how would you come up with this particular gag for this film? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It's such a random gag to put in this movie that has nothing to do with anything.
No, that's it exactly.
It's like, how else can we make Clark look like a friggin' idiot? Oh, I got an idea.
Ah, that's
Randy.
it. He just mentioned the plates in his head. He's
Yes,
like,
he did.
that's it. He's like, last time I knocked my head like I pissed my pants and didn't know where I was or something like that.
Yeah. He said, over here, it's nothing. He slaps his head.
Over here, though, if this gets hit, my hair just isn't going to look the same.
Randy Quaid was great. It's
So
another guy that he just went off the rails, man. I don't know what happened to
mm,
that guy, but um, I think about how good he was in Independence Day,
I was
which could
just
have
about to
been,
say, in Independence Day was so good.
yeah, I mean, that could have been a horrible throwaway role, but I think he nailed it.
Oh, he absolutely did. So good.
Boom! God, I love that. Just that explosion.
Like a firecracker.
Yeah. He'd be like in another county by the time he's done.
What's like he just keeps going and all the different backdrops of scenery that he flies through. Like, when they had the shot of them at the top of this hill, I didn't see all this in the background. Like,
No, no. And then suddenly he comes up on civilization again because the lights are back.
yeah, yeah.
And then there's yep, they're not even skiing there. They're just
Just bust through someone's shed.
yeah. I forgot the bit about the highway. That's good stuff.
It's the fact that he keeps going as well. Like, didn't even slow down because he was on there.
And Walmart made an appearance in this movie. I forgot all about that too.
Bingo.
This is back before Walmart attempted to take over the planet, kids. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they've already conquered America. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, so they own. We have like a big superstore over here called Asda. Walmart own them.
Ah, yeah. My mom worked for them when Sam Want was still alive, and she never had a bad thing to say about her job.
Really?
Never. And then when he passed and his kids took over and they sold controlling shares, I think, to somebody else, dude, her life became hell. It didn't
Mm,
take long. She didn't last too much longer. Like she just was miserable. I mean, it was
mm.
almost an immediate impact for those employees.
Oh man.
Yeah. They're talking about the infamous Christmas bonus.
Huh.
Oh, he'll get it. He'll get it.
Mm.
It's not what he thinks.
State of that house.
Yeah. And
Imagine
isn't he looking through a blow?
that neighbor. You'd never get any sleep.
Right. Yeah.
we we had that when we put the lights on the front of the house, like across the guttering and to the backyard. And it's got several settings on it. And we put it on this one that was quite flashy and it looked really nice. And then we
Right.
took the dog for a walk, and it was only when we came round back, like at the corner into the cul-de-sac, and saw our house from a distance, we were like, "Oh man, that's too bright! Like the neighbor's not going to sleep. Like we need to dial that down." So you take a step back away from it and go,
It's
"Yeah,
great.
maybe not."
Because you want to be festive, but you don't want to like force it on people, I guess.
That's it exactly.
And there's freaking Eddie waving to him. His goggles on, his flippers.
He's like the.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
This movie just got a lot better. It's funny, she doesn't have a Wikipedia page. I mean, I'm sure if you could look it up, you could find out who it was that she was,
What
you
about
know.
like is she on IMDb or something like that?
I think she is, but it only gives her movie credits. It doesn't say
Ah, okay.
but she's got to be like a granddaughter or a daughter or a cousin or something.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Tommy Boy,
Oh yeah.
you know, when he's standing there at the window and he sees the girl gonna take her top
Mhm.
off and jump into the pool. A lot of these comedies have moments where it's like
Mm,
callbacks to other films for
yeah,
me.
yeah.
Ruby Sue with what I hope is a wig, because that's terrible.
Because that's yeah.
That's like homeless lady hair. That sounds awful. I'm just saying. That was hard for him.
Yeah.
I'm sure every family has a cousin Eddie.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that like when he was on the diving board, I was like, every family's got him, like the inappropriate one, the one that's a bit of a dunce, but you kind of feel guilty leaving him out because he means well, even if
Right.
it doesn't always come across like that.
But he's the one when you see him coming from a distance, under their breath, everyone's going, "Oh
Oh,
crap."
really?
Yeah. Nice little sweet moment in a movie otherwise
Yeah.
full of slapstick.
That's it though. That's the only bit.
Yeah.
It's normal business resuming after this.
Right. Of course. Yeah.
His
Oh
jersey.
man.
It's got his name on
Yeah.
the back of it as well, hasn't he?
I never noticed that. Yeah. They're all going at it. Yeah, I would avoid that too. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said when you're growing up for the kids' table. They put all of us at the kids' table,
Mhm.
and the adults would eat together. So usually the kids would be at like a folding card table or something, and then
Yeah, yeah.
that's we're all supposed to hang out and play nice, so all the adults could be together and play nice as well. So is there it is. You can't talk over this. She was full. It's
Shiver
great.
full.
And then he has to tell the neighbors as well.
Just the can of beer and the cigar in his hand while he's doing it as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh man, and the shoes.
And then him looking around to make sure he's not getting in trouble. Wait, wait. There it is. And then he smells it first.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's right back in the house.
Oh.
There's the
Like he's gonna salvage it.
right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point. I think about that. I could do something with that. So I'm curious, it's kind of a broad question, but is there any like traditions in this film that are like completely American to you, like stuff that you didn't really do, or is it all kind of similar to what you're used to?
um, I mean, obviously it's exaggerated for comedy purpose, but
Right.
yeah, in terms of no, not really. Everything's fairly, yeah, fairly, let's say, standard. Like, yeah, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Like based on where you are, based on where I'm at, it's still very much a democratic, capitalist sort of
Mm.
based on consumerism kind of thing. But if you did a podcast with somebody in the States and somebody would in maybe Africa or India, it could be a completely different
Oh yeah,
conversation. You
for
know,
sure. Yeah.
I love his complete disregard for. Look at this, just bam,
Just take three of those.
because he knows Clark's paying. He's got to put that first. Light bulbs, I
Until he
think it
gets a
was,
corner open and bang. Like that was a
and
light bulb as well. It's just
yeah,
flashed
and no one addressed it. Again, it's comedy, bit of comedy. No one addresses it.
it.
It's freeloading because he was ready.
Such an awkward hug.
I know, right? Just convenient little list.
Something I prepared earlier. It's like in, have you seen Anchorman?
Oh yeah.
The bit when he goes into like the restaurant and the restaurant owner's like, "Ah, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ron Burgundy." And he's like, "Who wants to see Ron Burgundy play jazz flute?" And he's like, "No, no, no, I'm not prepared." And then just pulls out the flute from his suit.
It's great. So let me rewind a second. So he's got no money for a Christmas present for his kids, but he'll buy 6 bags of dog food for one dog.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, at 1989 prices, you would guess each bag is 10, 12 bucks, maybe. I mean, that's $60.
yeah.
These are my two favorite family members.
Are these the great grandparents?
Yes. This is Lewis and Bethany Clark's uncle and aunt.
Okay.
Yeah. The great William Hickey. I love William Hickey. He's freaking hilarious.
Mhm.
And Mae Quistell, I think is how you pronounce her name, who's great too. They're like in the they're going into the third act of this film, and they don't appear till then, but they're hilarious.
They have their moment.
She's lost her mind. God bless her. No clue what's going on.
Nothing at all. It's just really adorable. Like, oh,
Yeah,
just happy to be here.
yeah.
This box is meowing. Oh. Oh.
Oh, she wrapped the Jello mold.
Oh man.
Got to mention Eddie's '70s leisure suit he's wearing. Jesus. What a year
Don't-
for films, man. 1989 brought us the first Batman movie. We can't forget that. I mean,
oh
1989 was
yeah.
a huge year for
Oh,
movies. I think it also brought us Lethal Weapon and Indiana Jones film too, I believe, in the
yeah.
same year. Oh, The Grace is great.
The blessing.
Great.
Eddie's like a child.
Yeah. Eddie just did the here's the church, here's the steeple, open up, and here's the
Yeah, yeah.
people. Did you catch that? Oh, this turkey, man.
Oh man, it looks so good from the outside.
I know, right?
Like perfect. I've only just realised like the tiered cake in the background as well.
Yeah. Save the neck for me, Clark. Oh,
Oh gee.
like it's not real, but it's so gross.
It's moving and contorting.
Yeah. Oh man, shut up. Here's the heart. This is such a good scene. Just the sound effects. It sounds like potato chips, man. Oh,
It's like pork crackling, like the bit you get on top of like gammon or bacon when it's crisped off.
right, right.
But it's
Oh,
just an entire plate of that.
I know what you mean, but because there's a thing here called pork cracklings. So
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
exactly that. Yeah, pork cracklings.
Oh, haven't don't we establish at some point there's cat food in the Jello mold? I
Yep.
think. Yeah, there it is. You know she didn't hear a word he said. That poor cat doesn't fare too well.
Nope.
God.
Oh gosh.
Oh, there's that dog. Jeez.
Oh gosh.
Oh, that sound. That's got to be like an actor doing that sound, man.
It's just like a really
Oh,
just a really like deep guttural like oh.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Didn't they give Eddie like a spin-off movie?
Christmas Vacation Part 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have not watched it.
No, I haven't. No.
Yeah, this was before Randy Quaid kind of lost his mind. So I don't know. It could be entertaining, but I never gave it a chance.
Nah.
I love how Ellen is wearing like that top.
Yeah.
There's a cut showing her cleavage, and it's so weird.
To
It's
wear it
almost
like a Christmas family meal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost like, well, we got to make it a little tacky. I mean, we have to, you know. Oh, don't plug it up. Don't do it. First one's good.
Woo! Eddie the Salvage King.
Yeah, yeah. Don't throw that out. I could do something with that.
How much did it set you back?
Yeah, he's got like a very Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing happening in the sewer right now. Because
Oh yeah, yeah. Secret abuse.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, they don't complain about the dessert too much, so you'd think that might would have been okay.
Yeah. The fireball.
There he is. I mean, I think we can agree it's obviously a stuntman that turned around, but it's
Yeah,
okay. It's all
yeah.
right.
I don't know. He could have been like the original Tom Cruise and did all of his own stunts.
Very true.
At least he's out of his misery.
The long-awaited Christmas bonus.
that
This will be the thing that saves Christmas.
that envelope's glowing as much as the front of his house is.
Right. Yeah. I bet you do, Eddie.
I bet you do, you freeloader.
Yeah. He takes a lot of jabs at Eddie that no one notices at all.
Fall under the radar, don't they?
Yeah.
Catherine and Eddie getting excited like they
Oh,
live
yeah.
there to take advantage of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited for your swimming pool.
It's going to come around and pollute it like we have done your front yard. The
He says news to his wife. She didn't know that bit.
what now?
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Eddie over his shoulder. Audrey's face then I picked up when she realised, oh, hang on, no, I don't want everyone here again.
Right. You know, I never noticed that till just now. That's funny. She knows when it's not good news.
Oh,
Of
Eddie.
course, Eddie thinks it's a great idea. It's like, oh,
Eddie just trying to soften the blow.
right. Oh,
Eggnog's the only thing we don't have Christmas here. Like, I think that's a very American thing.
really? I was getting ready to ask you if you liked it.
I've tried it and it is nice, but it's not a thing we get here.
Wow. I'm basically straight edge, man. I don't drink. I never have tried anything, right? So when I have eggnog, it's alcohol free, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
know what anything else tastes like, but I love it actually. I mean, I
yeah,
think
man.
it's good.
Now, the first eggnog I tried was non-alcoholic. So my ex-girlfriend, the one I mentioned earlier,
Right.
she was pretty much straight edge teetotal as well. So the first one I tried was non-alcoholic.
And that's when Eddie gets the idea.
I'd like to think that that bit was entirely ad lib, and they
Yeah,
just said, "Just go off on one for 20 seconds, and when you run out of air, come back up and finish."
right. No, that's good. I would like to think that as well. I mean, it's the classic story of the good old fashioned dad who tried to keep it together. He did pretty good for a long time. And then it's like Breaking Bad. He can't take it anymore.
That's
It's,
it.
he's
That
reached his boiling point.
that Christmas bonus not coming through was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yep. I like how they got that moment so quiet
Hmm.
where he's like, "We're gonna find a tree this time Christmas Eve." Like really quiet. And then bam, that's a nice touch.
Cleaning the sap off his hands this time.
Very true.
It's that like demented smile where he's just absolutely lost it.
We needed the coffin. Good stuff.
I love the chainsaw on the side, just next to the hand soap in the mirror.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, get rid of that.
I always like to think that that's a subtle nod to "It's a Wonderful Life" because every time Jimmy Stewart tried to go up the stairs, he put his hand on that piece and it would come off in his hand.
That's nice.
I don't know if it's connected or not, but I always like to think it is.
It makes sense. Rusty was watching it earlier in the film.
Very true. Yeah.
That he'd obviously just the lingerie that he brought at the start of the film, he just hung it on the tree like a bit of tinsel.
Yeah. they had to save this gag for the second tree. Like the cat was the first tree.
Yeah. Ah, the, the aunt and uncle just still sat down like nothing's happened.
That's awesome. Like she didn't know enough to get up. She's just like, I don't care. And he's asleep, all of a sudden asleep.
That's a running gag through the other films where he shouts for Russ and he doesn't realise he's literally stood right next to him.
Right, you're very right about that. I forgot about that bit. Can rely on good old dad to come in and have your back. Oh, Clark doesn't know. He left this bomb there and knocked her down.
Just barrels his mum over.
Yeah.
Oh, the dog as well. Just tearing the house up.
And they're, yeah. Suddenly, Uncle Lewis is awake.
Yeah. But still, like, nothing's going on.
Yeah, right. Oh, that dog.
Oh, man.
There's nothing left of this house, dude. I'm telling you.
He's going to use the bonus to pay for a new house.
Don't do it.
That's interesting. Like, that looks like a real squirrel. I'm assuming it is. How have they
Right.
trained a real squirrel to just run through the house?
I know, right? Oh, and then the dog got her too.
Gone.
It's great. Look at that living room, man. How like modern it is.
So yuppie.
Look at her, man. Jeez. That's a good punch, man. That sound on that. Oh,
that's that's a Tyson special.
yeah, really.
The threshold of hell.
And without knowing what happened, you kind of figure out what happened because you saw Eddie leave, then he was at a very nice house and then just took off.
Uh-huh. Something or someone is on the way.
Right. So Clark's memories of childhood Christmases before, like maybe not what they really were, because he just flat out admitted that they were always a mess.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I've dealt with worse. It's just like minor leagues.
Yeah. I like how they're still trying to make the best of it. Like everything's
Mm.
just gone to crap.
Even Ellen's mum cracked a smile.
Right.
I forgot he wraps him in a bow.
Yeah. Then has to
Has
kick
he
him.
chained him up as well? Yeah, he has. It's like the dog chain. A huge, beastly, bulging man.
It's the first time you see the boss beginning to be humbled just a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's a compliment.
Yeah. Ellen's dad is not messing around. Did you see that? I'm about to kill somebody. It's great. Carl.
Still hasn't got his name right.
Yeah. You have to assume that's pretty darn good.
Yeah. That good he's passed out.
Right. And here comes a SWAT team.
Yeah. Sent in like a SEAL team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone.
Full tactical gear. You know,
Well, of course, because obviously Eddie's a huge, bulbous, bulging beast of a man.
right. Of
They don't
course.
know what they're dealing with.
It'll take us all to take him down.
For
This
all they
guy
know, the
must
Hulk's in there.
and this guy must be a pretty influential businessman in Chicago to warrant this kind of attention.
Yeah, yeah.
There they are, rappelling down the roof. Dude.
Oh man.
Boom.
Spoon.
So I'm like, what are you breaking down their door for? What'd they do? As if that house could take any more punishment.
Like he had to smash through that bottom window. The tree had already taken it out.
Very true. He just loosened it up for him.
Yeah.
And I love the pose they all end up in. It's
Yeah,
classic.
yeah,
And she's checking her makeup because why not? You know, she wants to look her best.
yeah. Looking like a second-rate Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, yeah.
The state of that jacket.
I love this police captain. He's the best. He's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good. And she's got a hold of Clark, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he got his name right.
The hand, and she puts it back.
Right. It's great.
Found a rubber hose, I would beat you.
I want to hear the rest of it. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I want to know exactly what he'd do with that rubber hose.
right. I love how even the adults are going to go look at the night sky to see what they're seeing. Even the cops. Bethany's excited. Did you see her eyes? Like, ooh. It's great.
It's the toupee he's holding.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Cops are up. Captain's happy, you know. He's like, oh.
Yes, it. It's the reindeer
he's,
that he karate chopped.
he had to put the toupee. He's wearing it again, you know.
Captain's got his hat on backwards. I never noticed that before.
Never noticed that either.
Outstanding.
Man, yeah, first time this season for me. It still holds up. This movie will hold up forever.
Yeah, fact.
You know, it's one of the things about holiday movies. I don't know that I've seen a lot that don't hold up. I think you would have to get one that is so insanely specific to the time period.
Hmm.
I don't know, but I can't think of any that you can't. at least adapt to today and make it work.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure there might be some, but I can't think of any.
No, not offhand. That is gold. That's
That's
timeless.
great.
Absolutely timeless.
I just noticed that like there's no one else decorated but him. Like the house next door, well, that's the neighbor, so that's the rich.
Well, yeah, they're definitely not putting in the effort.
Right, right, right. But I don't know about the house, and I don't think we get the camera to back up enough to see the other neighbor.
I love that the dog's just stood in front of him.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just kinda hanging out, looking up. And that freaking terrible song's back again, dude.
Oh yeah. I just about got it out of my head from the first time I heard it
I
at the film.
know, right? That is a, dude, I used to know who sang this, and it's a famous, R&B singer. Um, Here we go. Oh, and by the way, I totally got Holiday Road incorrect.
Oh yeah.
Holiday Road is not Kenny Loggins, it's Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, of course.
I don't know how I got that because that's totally his voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't mind that song. That's one of the better songs from these
Yeah.
series of films.
This was sung by Mavis Staples of the Staples Singers, who's a legendary R&B singer. It's just
Mm.
I just hate this song, dude. I just cannot help myself. Man, that was fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Really, really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I held off watching it this year until now as well. So I'd been itching to watch it, but as soon as you mentioned, yep, that's the one. We'll do this.
Yeah.
Yes, get to watch it and watch it with someone else that enjoys it as much.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, no doubt, man. We were looking for a Christmas movie to watch the other night, and this was on the ticker, And
Hmm.
I'm like, nope, I'm gonna avoid the temptation. I'm gonna save it. So I can't remember what we watched I think we'd watched Home Alone instead that night instead of this one. So
Huh.
yeah.
Yeah, I got Home Alone downstairs. That's going to go on at some point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's such a classic. Not so much part two. I'm not a part two Home Alone guy, man.
Yeah, it's all right, but yeah, it's the first one every time
Yeah.
for me.
But that's a whole other show. But man, just it's comedy ensues when we leave our poor child defenseless alone at home at the mercy of two criminals. That movie looks very different in 2020, man. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah, it does.
well, yeah, that was a blast, man. And uh, a lot of times, I should say, pretty much all the time, I'll record episodes of the podcast here, and they'll be played out of order in which they were recorded.
Mhm.
Because I don't really number the shows. It's just something different that I'm like with the main event. Every episode's numbered, but I didn't really. I
Yeah,
number
yeah.
these to let people know what they are.
Mhm.
But like I've got episodes recorded that I recorded back in like months ago that I still haven't released yet because I'm waiting on the right time to just put it out
Okay.
there.
That's cool though. At least you have them in a batch just to kind of drop out as and when. And if there's ever a week or so you can't record it, you have them backfilled to be able to just drop something in. So that's handy.
Yes, I've got enough right now. I think to get me. I don't know about all the way through February, but probably pretty close. So,
Oh, really?
oh yeah, dude.
Hey.
It, I mean, if you're going to commit to do a show and release one a week, you got to be
Oh,
ready,
yeah.
man. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, life gets in the way, dude. You end up if your
Mhm.
schedule doesn't work, you drive. I mean, at least me, I drive myself crazy with time schedule. I have to be on
Oh,
time.
same. Yeah.
So, um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I said all that because this is a Sunday when we record this, and this will be released 2 days from now for the Christmas season. And this is your first time on the 6M, but definitely want to have you back for sure.
Oh, I'd love to. I'd love
Yeah,
to.
man.
Genuinely love to. It's awesome. It's been really,
Cool.
really fun.
Cool. Well, as we start to wrap it up here, give me your last word on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
If you haven't seen it, I implore you to watch it. You will not regret it, and it will instantly become one of your favorite Christmas films of all time. It is superb.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We hope you've enjoyed it. And hopefully, this commentary uh, ages with the film and it doesn't lose its luster. And I can't wait to listen to it and watch the film at the same time. So that'll be fun. And that is Christmas Vacation. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Check out our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at 6M Podcast. We'll see you next time.